And a moment of silence for the beautiful American force wheels that lay in the ground out here, growing weeds. When I see you again. I turned down the radio to be able to do the intro for you guys today, and I'm getting absolutely flamed behind the camera for touching somebody's radio, but before we jump in, touching a Cuban man's radio, apparently.
You get to see what passed.
So before we jump into the video today, we are going to see what's going on with Dan's truck. What you doing?
Making mistakes.
I think they're trying to get the engine back in at some point.
Actually, we're trying to put it in this forklift.
Put it on the forklift. They've got the forklift today, and it's trying to go back in. So I just
fold it back. Oh shoot!
Look at these poor BFGs just getting absolutely abused over here. I'm sorry, guys. It'll be done soon. I just wanted to say hi. Hello. That has been your Do It With Dan moment of the day.
Where is,
let's roll the intro. Here. That's for you. So you guys can see a little bit of this vehicle behind me. I'll show you more of it in just a minute, but I wanted to take this video, and I get a lot of questions about, you know, what people should do to their trucks and how they should build them. And I kind of wanted to take this video to give you guys my 5 biggest suggestions, my 5 most important things to a truck. Honestly, just the 5 best accessories / mods that you can do to your Silverado right away when you get it, or maybe not right away, but the first 5 things you should do to make it look good without having to wait forever. So we're gonna start with number 1. Probably the most important one to me, the one that sticks out to me the most, the one that I could not live with right away, is some kind of a lift. So when you first get your Silverado, you're always, regardless of the year, and that's one thing that we're gonna be able to do is show you a couple of different year models as I'm talking about this now. Today, in front of me right now, I have a 2500, a new body style 2500, and this applies to this as well. So a leveling kit or a lift kit is gonna be one of the first things you're gonna wanna do to this truck to help the look of it. Nobody likes the nosedive of the truck. Everybody likes it to at least sit level. So I really recommend one of the first things you do to a truck is at least put a leveling kit on it so you can get some bigger tires. If I could redo my truck again, I'd probably do like a 4-inch lift kit, leave it at that, and then we'll get to whatever else I would go to it. I don't necessarily recommend going to a 9 for everybody like I have, but at least something like a 4-inch or 3.5-inch leveling kit would be perfect for starting out with a Silverado build. This is the Jeep that Dan is about to start on. I'm really excited to see this one as well. The dually's taken some time to get done. I don't know if this one's going to be done for SEMA, but the Jeep build is something I'm really excited to see as well. Full frame swap, I think, from seeing his video as well, but just really excited to see what he has in store for this. So after you get your leveling kit done, or lift kit, whichever you end up going with, your number 2 thing, obviously it's gonna look funny after that. I'd really recommend some wheels and tires, but for the sake of the video today, we're just gonna do tires. You don't necessarily need to do wheels right away, but some good all-terrain or mud tires on your build is a must-have. I think your stock kind of leveled trucks with some mud tires are beautiful. There's nothing better than that look. We're gonna use mine as an example today. Mine obviously is on the bigger end of the spectrum. So once you get your lift kit done, you're gonna wanna put some mud tires on. That's really gonna bring the more aggressive look to the truck, and I really think that brings it together. You know, you get that bigger tire on there, help fill up those wheel wells a little bit, really gonna give it a little stance depending on what kind of wheel and tire you go with. And I think that just, especially even just those 2 right there, you put those 2 together on a truck, whether you do anything else to it, and it's gonna look beautiful after that. So we're moving right along. Those 2 are my top 2 things. I mean, once you get a truck, that's immediately what you're gonna look for is lift, wheels, and tires, and I just kind of group them all together. So number 1 and number 2 knocked out, 2 biggest things. Let's jump into number 3 and see what you guys think. So number 2 was lift, wheels, and tires. Obviously, that's one of the biggest things everybody wants to see on a truck immediately. Number 3 on the list is something that I think changes the look of a truck even just as much. even just as much, whatever, just as much as lifting wheels and tires does. And I genuinely think that is lighting on a truck. So whether it be changing the lights and the housings completely or just putting LED bulbs in it, I think lighting on a truck is a huge game changer. I mean, LED bulbs, maybe even clear switchbacks, LED lighting on the inside. I wouldn't necessarily count lighting on the bottom or underneath, just because that's something people added afterwards. But like something that I think changed my truck completely is the LED backup lights as well. I mean, that's something, you know, even the LEDs down around the license plate like I have, that changes the look of the truck 100%, and it gives it such a cleaner look. So that's why I'm putting lights at number 3, a huge game changer in the truck build as you're going along with your build. And I definitely think that's something that you should put in your top 5. We are back outside again at my truck for number 4. Number 4 is something that looks great and sounds great, and that's going to be exhaust. Exhaust plays a huge role in how your truck looks, rides, sorry, not rides, but looks and even performs sometimes, and how it sounds is a huge thing. I know some people that all they do is put some mud tires on their truck without even a leveling kit, throw some exhaust on it and call it a day. So exhaust is going to be a huge one. You guys just heard the exhaust on my truck. I have just the cats and then straight pipe back, so I guess cat back exhaust if you want to call that. Hopefully this wind noise isn't too bad, but exhaust, depending on how you like it, it can definitely look good as well. Just currently the truck, when I bought it, had the pipes coming straight out of the back. Some people like the 45-degree angle. I know with a lot of your, you know, your diesels, people like to put the axle dump underneath, and I also like when people do the axle dump on the 1500s as well, especially with the 5.3 and the 6.2. Straight pipe exhaust sounds so good, and that's something that can really change the look and sound of your build, and I know a lot of people like to do that. Coming right along to the last point on the list and the top 5 accessories and mods that I think you should do to your 1500 Silverado first, or any Silverado or truck in general. This is my buddy Josh's truck. I'm gonna leave his Instagram in the link below, so make sure you go hit him up on Instagram and give him a follow. I think number 5 on the list definitely has to go to interior. Tint is a big one, and tint, and I'd say subs and music as well, because that's something a lot of people like to do. So if you're a tint guy, I know a lot of people like tint. I have 5% on the front of mine with 5/20 in the back. My windows are down right now, so that's not really how it looks. Just like mine, he's got 5% on the windows, 5/20 in the back, and then 35 on the windshield. I do see some windshield tint in my future, maybe not necessarily while I'm in Georgia, because I don't feel like getting pulled over, but tint is a big one. And then music, I know he's got at least, is it 112 or 212s? 212s. He's got 212s in the back of his, and I've got 212s in the back of mine. His sounds a lot better. It won't pick much of that up on the camera, but believe me, it's a lot louder than mine if any of you have heard mine. So definitely look into doing that as one of your top 5 as well. If you guys remember last time, you got the G-Wagon with the beautiful red interior as well. We're kind of walking through the graveyard of amazing cars. You got a Hemi back there, Challenger, Bentley sitting over here. There's a burned down Rolls Royce back there. All kinds of cool stuff back here. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video that I made for you guys. Something that I know that a lot of you are kind of looking into. A lot of you have newer builds and just a lot of you have newer builds and want some ideas for your trucks. If I redo a truck, or if I ever get a Duramax at some point, these are some of the things I'm gonna look into. So I wanted to take one video for you guys and just really make it all about you guys and give you guys some of my thoughts and just suggestions for your builds. So if you guys have any questions, the link to my Instagram is in the description below. Make sure you hit me up on Instagram. I'll answer any of your questions. I try and answer as many as possible all the time. So you guys are the best. I do have merch shirts. I don't have one on currently, but I do have Let's Get This Bread shirts available, so DM me so I can get one ordered for you. Make sure to do that because they are so amazing. The Bread Gang is huge, and I love you guys so much. I will see you guys next time, and as always, let's get this bread.